Shabbat Shalom, guys. Shabbat Shalom, guys. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and I make videos about being a Jewish mom and minimalism with kids. And today I have an awesome video for you guys all about how I host Shabbat dinner. So I hope you guys find these tips and tricks helpful. If you do, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. I have lots of videos about Shabbat, Jewish holidays, all things like that. So you do not want to miss those. And don't forget to watch until the end because I'm going to reveal my most embarrassing tip/trick that my husband hates but all my guests love. Okay, so my first tip for you guys is to make your guests feel welcome. This is actually a really important component of Judaism, having guests over to your home and welcoming them into your home, and it's also an important part of Shabbat. So the things I like to do to achieve this is I make sure to have my house clean and nice so that when people walk in they feel comfortable, and I like to make sure the dinner is fully cooked and ready to go, and I have appetizers out and ready, and then when people come in I like to offer them wine or a drink just to make them feel comfortable when they first step in. And if I'm having kids over, I really make sure to have the space baby proofed. I mean, our house is already baby proof because I have a 1.5-year-old, but I just take a look around and make sure there's nothing dangerous out and about. Because the worst feeling as a parent is when you walk into somebody's home with your kid and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna destroy this place. So if you're having little ones over, just do a little glance around and move things away that they could possibly break. I also like to have just little toys, even stuff from the dollar store or my son's toys that he's grown out of if it's a little baby out and about, just to make those younger guests feel welcome too. The second tip I have for you guys is to set the mood. And by this I mean Shabbat is a special holiday, and the way that I sort of signify this in my house is I really like to have fresh flowers to make the house feel nice and special. We don't have flowers out usually the rest of the week. I mean, it would be great if we did, maybe one day when I'm an adult, but for now I just at least try to have them for Shabbat, even just inexpensive ones or ones from my garden are just really nice. And then I'll just some candles around my house. I have some fairy lights in the fireplace, so just things like that to make the house feel nice and warm and comforting for people to walk into. The third tip I have is to prep the night before. So seeing as it's the night before right now, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so this is everything I have laid out for tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you guys what it all is and what are my necessary things I always make sure to have if I'm hosting for Shabbat. So of course you gotta have your Shabbat stuff, and by that I mean challah, kiddush cup, and candlesticks. So this is my challah cover that my mother-in-law made for us when we got married. Shout out. And then this is my Challah Board. It's by Annie Glass. I'll see if I can link it below. It's really beautiful. And I do have an everyday Challah Board that I use for other Friday nights, so I thought while I'm taking everything out, I'll just show you guys. It looks like this. Comes with a knife, but yeah. So there's just so much beautiful Judaica out these days. You can find it at Bloomingdale's and Nordstrom's and places that never used to have that kind of stuff. So yeah, obviously you don't need to have fancy stuff, but it is nice if you're going to invest in something or get it as a gift to use it on Shabbat. Then I always make sure to have our candlesticks and candles and some matches out ready to go. I have kippahs out for the guys that are coming over, and then wine and kiddush cup out for the kiddush. By the way, this wine is actually from my son's bris about 1.5 years ago, and we've used it little by little each Shabbat, so it's just kind of a beautiful, special traditional yada yada, you get it. Okay, then I like to set out the wine glasses, knives and forks and plates ready to go, as well as the water pitcher, flower vase. And then this is another tip I shared in my how to host Seder video. I take these little note cards and write out the dishes that I'm gonna be serving and then put them in the serving platter. That way I make sure that I have enough of everything I need ready to go out and about. And then sometimes I'll use a nice white tablecloth, sometimes I'll just use these you know what I'm talking about, placemats. Sometimes I just use the placemats. And then I like to put appetizers in, this is another Annie glass piece, and then I'll use the same thing for dessert. It just kind of like cuts down on the amount of serving dishes, and I also usually ask my guests to bring dessert. That's the one thing I kind of farm out. And then over here, I also like to keep out our tzedakah box on Shabbat, and just we put our like loose change from the week in there. So it's just like a nice thing to remind ourselves, you know, what's important in life and giving tzedakah. And then if I have kids coming over, like I said, I like to have some stuff for them. So here I have the Shabbat is Coming book, Shh Shabbat, and of course the classic 1, 2, 3 Shabbat. And then this is just something we won at the Purim Carnival this past year, but it's just like a cute foam puzzle for Shabbat. So yeah, just little cute things like that. And if they're Shabbat themed, even better. So I usually do my grocery shopping the week before, and what I like to do is write out in my planner what I'm going to make for the week and what I need to buy. So for my Shabbat menu, I like to keep it really simple, and I'll usually do the same type of thing, which for appetizers, I have hummus, pita chips, and sliced veggies. For Shabbat, I make sure to have the candles, challah, and wine. And then for dinner, I usually do roasted chicken and roasted potatoes, and then a salad. And then I just have guests bring dessert. Having chicken is just a traditional thing to serve on Shabbat, and it's super easy because you can bake it in the oven the night before and then just heat it up before your guests come. So that's what I plan on doing. I'm gonna cook the chicken and potatoes tonight, and I'm gonna chop everything for the veggie appetizers and the salad. And then before people arrive, I'll put the chicken and potatoes back in the oven to warm up, and I'll set out the appetizers, and that's it. Everything is ready to go. And then I usually ask my guests to bring a non-dairy dessert. Even if you don't keep kosher at home, it's nice to have a kosher style Shabbat dinner, just to, like, you know, keep in the theme with Shabbat. It'd be kind of strange to serve like a giant ham on your Shabbat table, but you do you. Okay, I promised you guys a secret tip, and here it is. What? This is actually just a B'Kol Echad, but it's basically a Jewish like song book that has the Shabbat prayers in it. I like to have the prayers either printed out or in these books ready to go for people. Even people who celebrate Shabbat often, you know, sometimes can forget the prayers, and it's really helpful for people who don't celebrate Shabbat often or who have never celebrated it before to have the prayers written out for them so they can participate. And here's the really big thing that my husband sometimes gets embarrassed about, but we always do when we're hosting friends, is we start off our Shabbat prayers by singing Shalom Aleichem. You can pick any song, it doesn't even have to be a Hebrew one, but it's nice, just pick like the Shema or any prayer that you know, or a super easy Hebrew song or an English song or whatever. But having all your guests standing together singing just totally changes the mood, and it makes it such a different experience than any other dinner that you might host. So I absolutely love doing this. Sometimes it throws people off and they're like, oh, this is a little bit awkward, but that's fine, you know, they get into it. And I just find it one of the best parts about hosting Shabbat dinner is getting to share that special moment with friends and family before getting into the Shabbat prayers and the Shabbat dinner. So I hope you guys liked this video and found my tips helpful. If you did, please make sure to give them a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. I'll see you next time. Bye!